Hello, I wanted to come on here today and talk about one of my favorite Magic decks of all time. I'd call this probably more of a signature deck than the Zaxara one because it's my most favorite one to play. It's my most favorite one to upgrade. So it's a Kenrith the Return King deck, but I don't really ever play it. It's actually a Clue, Food, and Treasure deck. And these are my favorite tokens of each of those kind right now. Stranger Things, Infinity, and Walking Dead Treasure. I think those are just the coolest. Here's Kenrith. He's useful sometimes. He's just here to be a 5-color commander that can do something for me. Before we start, this is a card I'm playing with adding to the deck. I got this from a boosty, and I just haven't decided what I want to remove from it because every time I get a card for this deck, it's so tight. This box right here is just full of cards I bought for the deck and don't even know if I have room for because I just love every card in here. So we're going to start with the clues because Clue, Food, and Treasure is how it's all normally written. One of the most important cards of the deck, Tamiyo's Journal. At the beginning of my upkeep, investigate, tutor. I mainly love this. The tutor's nice, but really just getting the clue every turn because oftentimes it's more than just a clue. This is one of my most favorite cards from the new Doctor Who sets. The legendary clue that taps for clues. It's a clue to Larian Academy. This is me all over. I love this card. I haven't used it yet. I haven't resolved it yet. But I'm just so happy that it exists. Eloise is nice. Gives me some card selection. And people like to kill my stuff. So get a little value out of it. Warnog, Rider's Chaplain, is the Universes Within version of Will from Stranger Things. And most people just take the clue because they want to draw a card, so I get more clues. Root Out, Removal, Investigate. There's a lot of ETBs in this deck, so being able to blink a bunch of stuff and then make a bunch of clues, that's pretty good. Wave Sifter, just to investigate a bunch of times. Ramp and Investigate. Lannis. This was originally three separate decks. One was a Lannis deck, so just make a bunch of clues and sacrifice them all, and then eventually I merged them all into one giant deck. So here's Lannis. Love Lannis. I don't activate that much, but the ETB get a clue is good. The Haven Gold Laboratories in the deck, I don't know that I've ever really used it. On the back, it taps for black and lets me reanimate a creature. I don't know that I've ever used that ability, but it's nice to have it there. Agent's Toolkit. When New Capenna came out and I saw this was great. Lets me move some counters around. It's a clue. It hangs out. It's adorable. I love it. This deck is good, but it's mainly cards I like. Here's Sarah Jane Smith. I have a lot of historic spells in this deck, so investigating is great, and she's cheap. Chief Jim Hopper. I was going to get the Universes Within version of this card, but Hopper is probably my favorite character in Stranger Things, so I just got another copy of Hopper, because I have the Secret Lair. It's on my wall, but I wanted Hopper for the deck. This deck doesn't attack a lot, but he'll make clues. He's a 4/4. He's okay. Search the premises. This stops people from attacking me more than you think it would, because the more clues I have, the more dangerous I am. Investigator's Journal. I find myself not casting this card a lot because I want people to have a lot of creatures on it, and I don't know if I should just start playing it slightly inefficiently, but I think it's a cool card. Hard Evidence. It's a great turn 1 play. Get a clue, get a crab to block with. Great. Confirmed Suspicions. It's like the only counterspell in the deck because you should have a counterspell, and this one makes clues. Fateful Absence. Blow something up. Give them a clue. Sometimes I've blown my own things up to get a clue. I've been desperate. And Briar Bridge Patrol. This hasn't come in handy too many times, but I think it's neat. This deck used to be a lot more... Oh, sorry. Smack the camera. This deck used to be a lot more powerful, but I took out some of the generic good artifact cards, so you get more cool Clue, Food, and Treasure cards. So I think I made it both better and worse when I did that, but those are all the cards that just care about clues. Moving on to probably the thickest section of the deck. Here's my food cards. Bernard, Ginger Sculptor, is a beautiful card. I love it. It can be a Splicer commander, which is important to me, but it's a food commander. It makes foods. I don't know if this works with a cadmium manufacturer the way I would want it to, but it is so cool that I'll just leave him here. Many Partings, good turn 1 play, get a land, get a food. Gilded Goose, another amazing turn 1. Sir Ginger, this is a new card that I think is going to be very good because the amount of artifacts I'm putting into the graveyard. The 4th Doctor is great for card selection because I can look at the top card of my library, get more information, and get more food. Knight of the Sweet's Revenge, I kind of consider as a ramp card, but also it's a finisher card because oftentimes food do the least amount of stuff in the deck, so more food cards means more ways to use food. Goose Mother, big goose, big food, and use my food to draw cards. It's also flying, and flying gets my opponent a lot. Here's Oko, the man that started all this nonsense. Nobody likes when I cast Oko. Even though I usually just make a food, nobody likes Oko. He usually dies, but that's fine. Eleanor's cool because she'll let me fix my lands. I need to put more basics in the deck, but Eleanor's good. She'll let me ramp. Trailer Comes is nice because it'll do card selection, and who doesn't like that? Giant Opportunity is good. The 7/7 isn't always relevant, but 3 mana for 3 foods. If I have other card effects out, it's usually more than 3 foods, so we like that. A land that lets me remove stuff from graveyards, which is very relevant in my play group, and make foods. That's very nice. Asmarana Mardica Dyson Dakota is a card that I learned how to say, and all my friends hate that I can say it, so I put it in the deck. And also because I can use the foods to deal damage, and it's a tutor. The discarding is kind of hard because I think one of the only ways I have to discard is from the book, and she gets the book, so. Savvy Hunter's here because sacrificing food to draw cards is great. Samwise is here for the same reason Lannis is. Make me foods on the ETBs and get things back from my graveyard. Great. Tough Cookie's here because he's adorable, and I can turn stuff into 4/4s. Peregrine Took, just more food, more card draw. Always like it. Greta, I don't know that I've cast Greta yet, but she gives me things to use food for, so we'll try Greta out for a bit. The Shire, love the Shire. There's a lot of legends in here. It makes food. Why not? As I said before with Lannis, this deck used to be 3 separate decks, and Gaiam was the commander of one of the other decks. It's kind of annoying to track the creature ETBs on the first turn you play Gaiam, because sometimes I'll draw into him and be like, oh, play this, and I gotta figure out how many creatures I had. But I love Gaiam because I can use the food to protect stuff, like a cadmium manufacturer, because it's important. Provision Merchant, I have it in here. I want to try it because +1/+1 and Trample could be very useful. Killer Service, make some 4/4s. Just cards to use food to do stuff, so my food don't lay around. Feasting Troll King, make a lot of foods, make a big beat stick. Underworld Cook. I usually just want to discard and make food with it, but being able to bring a creature back is nice. Gingerbread Cabin, make a food. Lumbus. It entering the battlefield to scry 1 and draw a card, and I can sack it to gain life, and I shuffle it back into my library is all just so much utility on just such a cheap card. And Spider Food, it's broken wings, but it makes me a food. Flying creatures are a problem. So yeah, there's that. So as you can see, there's way more food cards than clue cards, but I have a box of just cards to put in the deck at any moment. This pile here is all of my cards that care about food, clues, and treasure. Let's use the truck driving down the street. So I have a lot of options for this deck. I can change it out basically on the fly. This is the section that cares about treasures. Treasures aren't that fun to me. I mean, free mana is great, but I tend to put my focus other places. But Bootlegger's Stash, when I play this, it gets so out of hand so quick. Kalane is nice because when I do get treasures, I can make big creatures with them. This is a new card I got. I like Negan from The Walking Dead, but I didn't feel like paying for Negan, so I got Malik. And my opponents play a lot of sacrifice decks. We just play friendly games at my house, so this is kind of a meta pick. But they like sacrificing stuff, and I like treasures, so we'll keep that. Gala Greeters. I make a lot of creatures, whether they be tokens or not, so being able to get a little more value each turn. Another counter spell. It's just nice to have. And an artifact land, treasure vault, make a bunch of tokens. Sometimes I sacrifice a bunch of treasures with Academy Manufacturer out to make a bunch of treasures, and then I get a bunch of foods and clues with them. So there's the treasure section. It's not that crazy. This next section are cards that care about more than one of the 2 token types, and the most important card for this entire deck is Academy Manufacturer. Without this card, this deck just doesn't happen, doesn't exist. This card is so great. I love it. Fey Offering is nice. I'm casting lots of creatures, lots of non-creatures, so clue, foods, and treasures are great. That's also each end step. It doesn't have to be my turn. The third Doctor, it's got trample, it's going to get huge, and it lets me pick one of the 3 token types to make. Tivit. This used to be part of an infinite turn combo that I took out of the deck, but Tivit is just so good that I will keep Tivit in here. Also, Flying Ward 3/6/6. This keeps the dragon player at least away from me a little longer. And Tireless Provisioner is just so good, so stays. Start of the deck right there. This next section is cards that just work good with my artifacts. So first one is Displays Dinosaurs. This card looks like it's gonna be so much fun. Who doesn't like dinosaurs? And turning all my tokens into 7/7 dinosaurs is great. Inspiring Statuary. Just use these artifacts for more mana. Shimmer Dragon. Card draw. This is great with clues because I can tap 2 clues to draw a card without having to sacrifice them, but I can still sacrifice them. Marionette Master. This ends games. That's it. I put the counters on it, it ends games. I don't need the servos. Jaheira. If I play Jaheira, I am ramping to the moon. Rise and Shine. I used this card one time and it was good, but most of the time I'm waiting till I get more creatures, but maybe I shouldn't. Urza. Broken. Busted. I like to spin that Urza. Tapping for mana. It's all great. And Fabricate. I got this as a store promo. I like the Adeptus Mechanicus. I don't play Warhammer though. And Fabricate's just good. So, those are cards that just help me play my jank. Next we have just ramp that's in here. Arcane Signet. Soul Ring. And a Mana Vault I got from a booster pack that my wife picked out. So, goes in here because the more mana this deck has, the more dangerous it is. Next, we just got the lands left. I do like... Let's see, can I do this in a neat way? Yeah, kind of can. So, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, all 10 of the dual artifact lands. So, I'll explain one here. Indestructible artifact lands, they're good because if I turn them into creatures with Rise and Shine, they're indestructible 4/4s. They're dual lands, help me color fix, and yeah, just more artifacts. More artifacts makes the world go round. Next we have non-basic lands. I'm not going to go through them all. I'm going to go through the 3 important ones. So we have Inventor's Fair, Spire of Industry, Reliquary Tower, and command tower. And the rest of these don't really matter. They're just what I had at my house for color fixing. So just skim through them. That's just what I had here to fix my colors, but this is the most important land, I guess, if I had to say one's important. Inventor's Fair, tick up that life, and if I desperately need a piece to solve some problems on the board, I can get it. I play a criminally small amount of basics because the last time I adjusted the mana base for this deck, I didn't believe in basic lands. So I just have, is that 7 basics, and I don't even have them in all 5 colors. So here is the basic land spread. I need to adjust that a little bit, take out some dual lands for some more basics because I have a lot of basic searching. But that is my clue deck. Another card I've been thinking about adding is Taunos here because it can be cool. Taunos could be cool in here. I also have this pile of cards here I'm considering. This deck changes a lot because if I get a new card or a new card comes out, I will often throw it in and replace it later. So this is my pride and joy deck. I'll give you one last little top-down view of some of the most important cards here for me, for my fun. Sorry about the light. Yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a good day. Take care.